Hi, in this video I'll show you how to separate or split comma separated values or other kind of values that are separated by spaces or any other delimiters in Google Sheets. There's actually two ways you can do it, one with a drop-down command and the other one with a Google function. So let's see how we can do that. First, let's try to do the command set in Google, and all you need to do is select your range of data, or you can select your whole column. Here I have three different examples that I'm going to go through with the ribbon in the file here, file menu. Now, all you need to do is select your range here, go to data, and go to split text by columns, and it will split it out. And it will automatically detect it. So it's pretty much smart enough to figure it out, like for the commas here. Now, there's also spaces in this one, and it'll do the same thing. So if we go data and split text to columns, it's going to split it out. If you've got something where it can't figure it out, it will not be able to do that, and you're going to have to select it. So if I do the same thing for data, split text to columns, it wasn't able to detect it automatically, but you can still select it. Go to custom, and then your separator is the /, press enter. Well, you can just, it does it already, but it basically took care of that. You can see here when we use the menu option here, it did split it out, but it overwrote whatever is in column A. Now, if we wanted to keep that and have it do the split on the subsequent columns, we can use the split function. Split function is actually pretty easy. All you do is type equals split. You can see that it's come up here. If I click it and click the question mark, you'll see it comes up with the description of the split function, the syntax. There's two required arguments, the text and delimiter, and the other two here, split by each and remove empty text, are optional. You can see, you can read the description here. I won't go into it too much, but I'll have some examples later on. Close this or minimize that, or I'll just close this. I will select the text here, and the delimiter we have to put in quotes, and this is going to be the comma. And since the other two arguments are optional out of the four, I can just keep these two, close parentheses, press enter, and you can see that it's split it out. One thing to note is that the formula shows up in the area or the cell that you did it, but in the other cells, it doesn't show up. The formula doesn't show up, just the result. Now, if I wanted to copy this down, all I need to do is select it and bring it down. You can do the same thing for spaces. Basically, it's another delimiter, split, and then this value, comma, quote, space, quote, close parentheses, press enter, and we've got that there. Select that, double click this fill handle, and it's going to copy it down. We can do the same thing for here. Actually, all I need to do is just copy this, Control C to copy, because these are relative cell references. Control V to paste, and you can see it's picked it up. And I'll just replace that space with the ampersand, Shift 2, press enter, and you can see it's brought down. I can select that and just double click, and it will bring that down. So, as I mentioned before, there's other arguments in here that you might be focused on, the third and fourth argument. And we see where it comes into play here. So let's say, for example, I just wanted to split it by the comma, right? If I wanted to split it by the comma, I'd do a split, that cell, and then the comma in quotes. All right, press enter. You can see it split out. But what if I also want to split it by the comma and the ampersand? You can do that. Let me select here, go under that, comma, and put the ampersand in there, and press enter. And that's what it's doing. It's figuring out each of the delimiters. It's going to figure it out. And that's because of the extra argument here, where we are going to split. Let me open up the question mark so we can see that. We're going to split by each. So this value takes either true or false. So this is what happens if you put false in here. Close parentheses, press enter. You'll notice that it saw this as a whole unit, the period and the at symbol. So if I put an at symbol here, if I put an at symbol right at the end, it's going to separate out that one, but it won't separate out that one. Now, it can do multiple ones, right? So let's say we had this one, this example, this text, and we had a comma, we had a pipe, we had a at symbol, close quotes, press enter, it split it out. So that's kind of the nice thing about using the split function, because it takes multiple delimiters. Now, let's say we had a situation where we were doing something like this. We wanted to kind of split this out. Maybe we had an @ symbol as our delimiter, but also an @ symbol that looked like an email address. This doesn't look like an email address, but this is going to be the point that I'm trying to make with this one, with the third argument. So if I did split here, took that, and let's say I took out and I kept that as true. True is the default, right? So it's going to split everything out. It's going to take A and split it. Anytime I found an A, it'll split it out. Anytime it finds another A, it's going to split it out. An N, it'll split it out, right? But if we wanted only to split by the AND word, we would make that false. And then split that out. Now in this case, we wanted to split it out by the ampersand, and maybe this was an email address. So we can do this where we split it, take that text, and we're going to split out the ampersand, the @ symbol, space, and the close quotes, and may also make that false because we don't want to split out the ampersand. Press that. And I wonder if I just took that out, would it do that? And it did, because there's a space after that @. So if I had that space there, you can see that it took that, right? Now, there's another argument, the last argument, the remove empty cells. I really didn't find too much use for this one, but this is an example of what this would do. So if I did that, and the delimiter was this pipe, in quotes, and I use the remove empty. By default, it's true. So this is true. Let's see how it looks. It's going to split it out by the pipes. There's one pipe there. It's going to split it up by two pipes. That's a space there. And there's another pipe that's going to split it out because it thinks that that empty space deserves its own cell. Now, if I took the other function or the other argument and did split by the pipe and then said false, it's going to remove those empty spaces. Oops. Let's see what happened here. Oh, we had that extra pipe there. Press enter. Now there's an extra space there before that, so it kept that there. Kept Volkswagen, kept that space there, kept that, and then there is a space that it made available over there. So when that last argument is true, it's going to remove those spaces. Right, so there's that extra space there. Unfortunately, there wasn't a space here at the end for us to see that. Now, there's another way that we can use the split function is to transpose. Let's say, for example, we also wanted these items, or maybe I don't need that many. I wanted this all split out, but not across the columns, down the rows. I would still do a split, what I did earlier, that text, and split it by the comma. But I'm going to wrap this in a transpose function. Transpose, press tab, oops, let's do transpose, open parentheses, close parentheses, press enter, and now you've noticed that it's gone down instead of across, so we can do it that way. And here's one more way that we can use a split function. Let's say, for example, we want to split this, right? And we want to split it by the @ symbol, in quotes, right? Close that. It split it out, and then we had to copy it all the way down, right? Well, there's a short way to do that. Let's Control Z to undo that. Control Z to undo that. We can actually wrap this around an array function called array formula, and we put split in here, and we look for. Let's close this. We'll look for this range, and then in quotes, close quotes, open quotes, the @ symbol, close quotes, press enter, and it spilled it all out. So you didn't need to do the extra step of copying across and copying it down. This array formula, as long as you pick out the array or the range of cells that you want to split, it will split it all down. So item 1, item 2, item 3. Now there's another way we can do this. If we wanted to split it across the cells, each item, let's say for example F1 gets these 3, F2 gets these 3, F3, and then F4 gets the fourth column. So what we're going to do here is we're going to transpose, use our transpose, press tab, and we're going to use the array formula again. And now we're going to put that split in, open parentheses, select that range there, comma, and then quote, comma, close quote. Let's see, I think there's 3 closing parentheses, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, press enter, and now if we spread it all across, so item 1, 2, and 3, that one's there, item 1, 2, and 4, that one's there, 1, 2, and 5, that one's there. So we kind of spread and transpose them going out instead of having it go down. So there's your different ways that you can split delimited items, whether it be comma or space or an @ symbol, with the text to columns command or using the split function. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.